This is the Angels Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Angels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh, sorry. Don't mind me. I'm just sweeping. Sorry. Don't mind me. Ho, ho, ho. You know who else is sweeping? Our freaking Angels. Hello, Halo Nation. Hello, Halo hopefuls, and welcome back to the latest edition, a broomstick edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast, coming at you live, as always, after every single Angels dominant win over those darn Dodgers, right here in the Locked On Angels YouTube channel, and after the fact, both on the channel and wherever the heck you get the Locked On Angels audio podcast feed. If you don't know who I am, what's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area, spent 4 years covering UCLA sports with the Daily Bruin, and now in year 2 with the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. And I would say our team is the Angels. I don't know. I think I see some salty Dodger fans in here as well. But for most of us, our team is the Angels. And get out the brooms, folks. Get them out, because the Angels go to Chavez Ravine and take all three. This time it's a 6-4 sweep clinching victory on Sunday in LA. Oh, it feels so good. The vibes in the chat are unsurprisingly amazing. Tom saying, I don't believe what I just saw. The Angels sweep the champions in Dodger Stadium. How sweep is it playing in Dodger Stadium? Oh, they're saying it's our house. Oh, I love it. The vibes are great. Before we jump into this one, I had to just see the vibes. Ain't no one feeling sorry for the Dodgers. $1 billion team, by the way. And then, you guys love the brooms. There it is. The brooms. Bring them out. His cute little broom. Easy sweep. Do you believe in miracles? Steve says, my wife next to me is tripping. She's a Dodgers fan. Oh, I love it. Oh, but smiles, laughs, and brooms aside, let's jump into this one. And we have to start with America's favorite segment.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
For the third straight ball game, all 3 games in this series, the Angels score first in the top of the first inning. And ironically, after the first game, my big talking point was, hey, we got ahead in the first inning, which is rare. But it's even more rare that we actually held on to the lead, because we were winning less than half of our games when we had an early lead. Ironically, both 2 nights ago, last night, and today, first team to score in the top of the first inning all 3 times. Today, another example of losing that lead, further proving my point. But you can't act like the 3 runs in the top of the first weren't absolutely massive. If you didn't watch the game, a really strange ball game for a lot of reasons. Both starting pitchers, technically leaving with injury, technically not leaving with injury. Both had an injury. We had multiple fly balls in the outfield where Angels fielders almost collided into each other. We had Kike Hernandez jumping into the net, knocking over people's drinks, looking like Spider-Man. Crazy stuff going on. But nothing was more crazy than this first inning, because Tony Gonsolin comes out and he keeps looking at his hand, right? And, the broadcast, hey, does he have a blister? And then they pan to his pants. And his pants are covered in blood. Absolutely covered. It looked like a murder scene on the mound at Dodger Stadium. Spots of blood throughout his pants, because it looked like they were explaining, it looked like his pointer finger or his middle finger was, after he would let go of the ball on his pitch, it would stab him, basically, stab his own thumb, right? Which is crazy. But you see the corny, maybe, metaphor I have up there. The Halos smelt blood. They smelled blood. Watching too many British YouTubers for soccer, but they smelled blood and they acted on it. They acted on it right away. Zach Neto continues to be a superstar, folks. How great. And I tweeted it as well. How great is it that 1-2 punch at the top of the order of Neto and Shanuel that we've had so many questions about, is it the right spot in the order for both of them? Are we wasting Neto in the leadoff spot? Is Shanuel really a two-hitter? How huge is it that they both have phenomenal series in this spotlight, in this stage against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium? And Neto, once again, allow me to reintroduce myself. Big Papa, 1-1 pitch, and he hits it 109.2 exit velo, the third pitch of the ball game, 425 feet to left center, no doubter. Oh, so great, right? And then they're looking at Gonsolin. They're thinking, oh, they're going to take him out of the game. They leave him in. I was watching the Dodgers TV broadcast, and of course, the second that he walks Moncada, it's because of the finger. Oh, it's because of the finger. Oh, it's not like it was a 3-2 count or anything. And then Taylor Ward comes up, and Taylor Ward continues to have quite a turnaround. He's responded to the Mike Trout absence by absolutely filling his place in only hitting home runs and doing nothing else. But good thing he's hitting quite a lot. 2-0 pitch, gets a four-seamer right down the middle, and he crushed it as well. 104.1 exit velo, 411 feet. It's 3-0 Angels, just like that. And they're looking at Gonsolin again. Is he going to stay in? Yada, yada, yada. Ironically, he stays in, and the Angels don't really do much else. In the second, they don't do anything. 1, 2, 3 inning. In the third, they're able to steal one more. Nolan Shanuel with one of his 2 walks today. He got on base 3 more times today. Moncada singles. And then, despite back-to-back outs, of all people, Travis d'Arnaud hits a little blooper into left center to put the 4th run on the board for the Angels. That made it 4-0. And then we get to the final turning point, and I'm starting to cheat this segment and have a bunch of turning points. But the final turning point, obviously, is despite the collapse, despite Sean Anderson pitching like a fool, unfortunately, and giving up a 3-run shot that tied the game at that point at 4. The response from this team and from this guy of all guys, Travis d'Arnaud, gets his second RBI of the game, this time on a solo shot, and not just a solo shot, another tank to left field. 104.5 exit velo on a 3-run pitch from Bonda, fastball or a sinker right down the middle. That made it 5-4, and then we steal one more in the top of the 9th, but it just feels so great. It feels so great. It feels so fantastic. Not only do the Angels score in the top of the first all 3 games, they also score in the top of the 9th all 3 games, and you can make the argument that they needed that run in the top of the 9th both times, even though they didn't technically need it. You know that Sean Anderson's given up a run in the 9th with Ohtani hitting in the inning if it's only 5-4 today, right? The same way, there's probably a decent chance that Kenley Jansen is giving up a run yesterday if it's 10-9, not 11-9, right? So absolutely massive that this team has found the home run swing back. It's the reason that they were great at the beginning of the season is because they were hitting the long ball, right? But another thing that they have done now in a couple of these ball games is they're not striking out a ton. 8 strikeouts is not terrible, especially for the Angels, but more so they're getting on via the walk. There was a time at this point where the Angels had 4 runs on 4 hits. Why? Because they were getting on via the walk and they were hitting the long ball. And so, you know, like they're saying, they were saying it on the Dodger broadcast 2 days ago. If the Angels want to be a team that hits a lot of home runs and strikes out a lot, okay. But the other aspect of that to be a good team is you at least have to take walks as well, right? How many sluggers in the history of this sport are guys that hit home runs? Sure, they struck out a bunch, but they also took walks, right? And we hear Johnny Washington saying it's all about ending at bats when you're supposed to, waiting for your pitch. Well, if your pitch never comes, gosh darn it, don't strike out, right? And if it does, gosh darn it, hit it out. And that's what the Angels are doing lately in this series. The run in the 3rd was huge. Both runs in the 8th and 9th were obviously huge. But that 3-run first inning, even though you blow that lead eventually, you don't win this game without that 3-run first inning. And in my opinion, I'll be honest, coming into this ball game, I was predicting a blowout loss. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It felt like we got the series win. Something's got to give. This is still the Dodgers. We are still the Angels. Have a feeling, 2 night games, you go to a day game on a Sunday, and I just had a feeling they were going to blow us up. But they didn't. And it's because we got off to an early lead, and then Kikuchi did his thing. We'll talk about that after the break. We'll talk about the lineup as a whole. Man, it just feels so good, folks. It feels so fantastic. So we're going to take our break. When we come back, we have to praise Yusei Kikuchi and several Angels hitters. We'll do that after our break here on the Locked On Angels Postcast. Now, today's show is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. If you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better-for-you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. I love the no-shells variety. It's the perfect grab-and-go snack for my busy routine every morning, whether I'm on the way back from the gym at 7:30 in the morning, on the way to work at 8:30 in the morning, or sitting in my desk, and I need that quick protein punch that, oh, by the way, tastes amazing, because I freaking love pistachios in terms of the taste as well. It's the go-to. It's the go-to. If you love cracking open every shell, of course, the in-shell option is great and a classic favorite. So get snacking and cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. And today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. Obviously, the Thunder made easy work of the Nuggets today. Every night, though, it delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. And FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game both before tip-off and live. With player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. So if you're new to FanDuel, I know people in California can't use it, but what I did when I was in New York on vacation, I certainly used it. I'm going to Vegas this weekend, and I'm planning to use it then as well. But it's the perfect time to sign up if you're new to FanDuel. If you head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet, if it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. So make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Back here live on this broomstick edition, this beautiful sweet victory edition of the Locked On Angels Postcast. The Angels complete a stunning, but such a satisfying sweep of those Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. This time it's a 6-4 win to clinch the series. And honestly, you just got to tip your cap to the performance we saw from our starting pitcher. It's a shame that he doesn't get the win. And there are plenty of guys that played well, but I'm giving this award to one guy.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I'm giving it to Yusei Kikuchi. I mean, obviously, you could make the argument it's d'Arnaud. He has 2 of the biggest swings of the ball game, an RBI single and that go-ahead home run. Neto with another stellar performance, 2 for 4, 2 runs and an RBI as well with a walk. But you got to go Yusei Kikuchi, because not only is he going against the Dodgers lineup that we know how great they are, how dangerous they are, but we need some more context once this game ends. The fact that Sean Anderson pitched 2 2/3, right? What does it prove to you? It proves that we didn't have basically anyone available in this bullpen, because if Kenley was available, he pitches in that 9th inning. If Zephyr John's available, maybe he pitches in that 9th inning, right? The fact that Brock Burke gives you 2/3 of an inning, and then you need 2 2/3 from Sean Anderson, despite him giving up a 3-run shot in this ball game, it proves to you how we needed every single out, every single pitch from Yusei Kikuchi. And the crazy thing is, he probably would have given you more if he doesn't leave this game with an injury on what ended up being the second out of the bottom of the 6th inning. On a crazy play, a little chopper, Kikuchi runs over to first. He actually ends up colliding with the Dodger hitter at first base and leaves the game with what looked like to me like a right ankle injury. I don't know what the official report is, but it was kind of crazy. Certainly we needed that out. It was on the Tommy Edman ground out, but that made it 2 away, and that meant when Brock Burke came in, he could get out of the bottom of the 6th with just getting 1 out, and then we know what happened in the 7th, that 3-run shot. But all that being said, Kikuchi was phenomenal in this one. He doesn't give up a hit for 3 innings, I believe, 3 full innings, or almost 3 full innings. He just had a first inning walk to Will Smith. But outside of that, 1, 2, 3 in the first. Besides that, 1, 2, 3 in the second. And he goes 1, 2 in the third before Ohtani gets a little bloop liner. But then he gets Mookie out. Fourth inning, once again, just one hit, a Freddie Freeman single on what was a ground ball. And outside of that, he was basically perfect. Fifth inning is where things got a little interesting for him, right? He walks Kiki Hernandez. Then there's a infuriating throwing error from Travis d'Arnaud, and that's part of the reason why, I would feel guilty giving him player of the game. This was an extremely costly mistake because it allows Kiki Hernandez to get to second so that even when Conforto is flown out and even when Miggy Rojas strikes out, there's a runner on second with 2 outs for Shohei Ohtani instead of a runner still on first with 2 outs for Shohei Ohtani. And then guess what happens? He hits a line drive right to Matthew Lugo. If Kiki Hernandez is at first, I don't even think he gets to third. But because he's at second, he's able to come around and score. And that makes it 4-1. And then things get really interesting because Shohei's on now. Then you walk Betts. Then you walk Will Smith. And the bases are juiced for Freddie Freeman against Yusei Kikuchi. And I just thought it was going to happen. I thought Freddie Freeman was going to, World Series-esque, hit a grand slam, give him the lead. You probably would have had to pull Kikuchi at that point, and then a horrible bullpen was going to come in with the Angels down, and there's no way you're winning that ball game. But instead, he gets Freddie Freeman to fly out to Taylor Ward, gets out of the fifth with the bases juiced to cap off a phenomenal start for him. It really was one of his better starts. It's a shame that this man still does not have a win. He still does not have a win. But the ERA is now down to 3.5 as he goes 5 2/3, 3 hits, just 3 hits. He had 4 walks, but just 3 hits and 7 strikeouts against this Dodgers lineup. Just 1 earned run. Super impressive. Sean Anderson, yes, he does give up the 3-run shot to Will Smith because Brock Burke did give up a hit in his own right. But fortunately, despite giving up the 3-run shot, the lead stayed at 4. Give him a little bit of credit for that. And it stayed at 4. Or not the lead stayed at 4. The game stayed tied 4-4 after the 7th, and then he was able to get it done in the 8th and the 9th. Kind of crazy they left him in, but the fact that they did shows how little we had left in the bullpen. But fantastic from him. Him being Kikuchi, that's why he's the player of the game. And it's starting to feel like he is an ace, right? The fact that he can do this against the Dodgers, starting to feel like he can be an ace, and that we have a really good 2-pitcher in Jose Soriano, who you feel like can be an ace as well. Going down the lineup one more time. Like I said, I tweeted it. And if you don't know what the my Twitter is, it's right there, at Gavin Carlson _. This felt like a game where this series confirmed that Neto Shawnuel is the 1-2 punch at the top of the order for the years to come, like we were hoping, right? Because Zach Neto, as much as still it feels like he could be the ideal 3 hitter in this lineup or any lineup, we know how baseball is trending. Freaking Shohei Ohtani is a leadoff hitter. What does it tell you? It tells you we need our best hitters getting as many hits as possible so that it gives more opportunities to hit home runs, to hit extra base hits, or to get leadoff singles and steal bases, right? Well, Zach Neto, he's checking every box of a leadoff hitter, of a superstar hitter, of a 5-tool superstar player. Leadoff home run in this one. Then he gives you another hit. He gets on via the walk. You know the speed he's got. Right? He's hitting 283, 893 OPS. It'll be over 285. The OPS will be over 900 before you know it. Perfect in the leadoff spot. And then Nolan Shawnuel, right? The Dodger broadcast, ironically, they say he reminds us of Joey Votto. And you see it in the sense that he's a big, tall lefty first baseman that actually isn't going to give you a ton of pop. But he is getting on base like he did in college at FAU. I think they said he got on 54 straight games, and he's showing us that flashes of that right now. This guy gets on via the walk like once a game, right? And so I'm clicking him right now. I'm trying to load up his total stats here. The on-base percentage is now 356, despite the average only being 265. He's got 40 hits and 151 at-bats. But if you look at the last 30 games, 102 at-bats. 26 hits, a 255 average, that's okay, but 16 walks. 16 walks. The problem, 17 strikeouts. So he was showing flashes of being that guy who can get on via the walk, but he was still striking out way too much for a contact hitter, a guy that doesn't have power, right? And he honestly wasn't hitting enough for a guy who's supposed to be a contact hitter. But then what's happened now, if you look specifically in the last 15 games, it's 16 hits and 55 at-bats, 9 walks, 6 strikeouts. And if you look at the last 7 games, he's hitting 346, 9 hits in his 26 at-bats with 6 walks and just 3 Ks. So sure, he doesn't have a home run. Sure, there's not many extra base hits, but he's looking like, the perfect first baseman for an Angels lineup that doesn't need everyone to just be a swing for the fence guy, right? When Logan O'Hoppe is more of a pop and drop type of catcher or hitter, right? When our outfielders, let's be honest, Kyron Paris is kind of that. Joe Adell was certainly that. Lugo, I hope not, but there's a scenario where he's that. Mike Trout is that. Taylor Ward is that. Jorge Soler is that, right? Everybody else in this lineup is home run or bust type of guy. So I am not mad if our first baseman is an on-base machine, right? Not mad at it one bit. We need it in this lineup. So 1-2, they're perfect. They're set. Moncada did give us a hit in this one, 1 for 4. He had a walk as well. Taylor Ward, I didn't even mention Taylor Ward with the big 2-run shot. He continues to just hit a bunch of home runs. He's still hitting sub 200, 197, but he's now got 12 home runs. He's on pace for a 40-plus home run season. And I guess that's what you want from a cleanup hitter, especially when he's replacing Trout, who is doing the exact same thing, if not a little bit worse. Solaire's been struggling. D'Arnaud, we said how huge he was with the 2 for 3, that go-ahead solo shot. Lugo goes 1 for 4. We will take that. The 2 strikeouts I didn't love, but we will take that. Paris, another 0 for 3 with a strikeout. And Joe Adell, I don't remember him not having a – what happened with Joe Adell in this game? For some reason, it's saying he didn't have at-bats. I don't really remember, to be honest, what happened for him. I don't know if that's a glitch or something, or if he legit went 0 for 0. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really remember. But nonetheless, a solid performance from this Angels lineup. Or no, sorry. Paris was the 9-hitter. Adell came in just to pinch hit. My fault. Or to pinch run, or pinch field. But yes, the Angels lineup, it gets it done. 8 strikeouts only. That's fine. 6 walks. So you score 6 runs despite only having 8 hits because there's 6 walks and 3 home runs. But we will take it. Absolutely love what we're seeing. In terms of the lineup, people asking about Paris. What do we do there? What do we do when Trout comes back? When does Trout come back? Yada, yada, yada. I think right now, I think it's actually simpler than you would think. This 1 through 4, I think you can't touch it. Neto, Sean Newell, Moncada, Ward, I don't think you can touch it. I think what you do is you alternate between Soler and Trout in the DH spot, because I don't want to see Trout in the field right now. You alternate Soler and Trout in the DH spot. You hope that eventually, Trout is an everyday player again. And if you want Trout and Soler to be everyday players again, then you take out Paris in the lineup. You move Matthew Lugo to center field. You've got Ward in left, Lugo in center, Trout in right, Soler at DH, right? I don't think you do that yet. I think as much as I'd much rather have Trout and Soler in the lineup than Paris at this point, Paris gives you something in the field. Having Paris and Lugo in the field is pretty darn good. And then you let Trout ease back into things. You hope Soler can find his form a little bit. You kind of just have I think you have a 3-person rotation between Ward, Soler, and Trout of guys that are all going to be home run or bust type guys and not give you much of a glove. And then right now, Taylor Ward's sticking, so he's got to be the everyday player. You let Trout and Soler alternate at DH, and then in the future, maybe you change things. But that is that on the matter. We'll talk about the lineup plenty in the future, but for now, just enjoy this freaking win. The Angels pick up an unbelievable sweep of the Dodgers. Have a great rest of your Sunday, folks. Tomorrow we begin a 4-game set against the A's. And so what an opportunity this becomes for the Angels. You're now 20-25. You're playing against the lowly Sacramento, Oakland, whatever you want to call them, A's. You got to win 3 or 4. Now I'm getting greedy. You can say I'm getting greedy, but give me 3 or 4. Give me 3 or 4. You become 23-26. Then you've got 3 against the Marlins. That's another series you can win. Let's string together a few series wins, right? So that we go into the last week of May against the Yankees and against the Guardians with a much more respectable record, right? And outlook going forward. So hopefully we see Trout come back. Would love to see that. Like Vinny says here, I hate that we have no info on it. Yes, me too. I agree. But would love to have Trout back. And then they said lowly, they have a better record. I know they do, but they're still the A's. We still need to, I know we're not a great baseball team, but we are a more talented team than the A's still. Okay. So let's go beat the A's. Let's win 3 or 4, and we can really start trying to turn things around. But for now, enjoy the win, enjoy the sweep. Go talk to every single Dodgers fan you know and say, I don't care what you did last year. You guys pay $1 billion and you just got swept by us. Right? So go make fun of any Dodgers fans you know. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow night. Take care. And one more time. Go Angels, baby. Get the brooms. Get the brooms.